Psst. Psst. I heard you guys wanted a part 2. Here it is. I'll be honest, I don't know how some of these YouTubers have the point of view as if you're standing in front of your character and you can see their face, because this is kind of like bird eye, and I don't think this is the right way of streaming and doing these videos, so I'm still trying to figure it out. But we're going to start off strong with this video. I got a lot to show you guys. I think this is going to be a better video than the first part that I did, and I have a lot of good tips and tricks that you're going to love. And we're going to start off with a couple of the farming ones, because I have a lot of farming ones in this episode. I think they're just great. You know, I have 99 farming, but not because I did any of these techniques, but these techniques are kind of, you know, cool to know. Starting off, make sure you unlock Auto Weeder. That's at Tith Farm. I think I'm mispronouncing that potentially, so forgive me if I am mispronouncing it. But you pay 50 points. It takes about an hour to get that, maybe a little less, maybe a little more, depending on how efficient you are, and efficiency is just the most beautiful thing in this game. Psych. You unlock it and you never have weeds again. So you rake it once and they never grow back. I think that's such a great quality of life improvement. 100% you should get it. Second tip, and this is a tip similar to my Amulet of Chemistry. There exists an item called Amulet of Bounty, and this is specifically tied to allotments. What the Amulet of Bounty does is that you have a 25% chance of using only 1 seed instead of 3. So that means every opal you have is equivalent to 20 snapegrass seeds or 20 strawberry seeds, 20 sweet corn seeds. You get the picture, because you know you get 10 charges, 25% chance that it uses only 1 seed. We were not lucky this time. We still have a charge, but if you do get lucky, you only use 1, and then you would have seen 2 snapegrass seeds in my inventory. We can potentially try again, because I am in need of a snapegrass. Is it going to work? It did not work. We have 6 seeds. Let's plant 1. Nope, did not work. Into the allotment. Did not work. You guys, I promise you, it's a 25% chance. I'm just unlucky every time I try to make videos. Just like how you saw I had a mature Chef's Delight instead of a regular Chef's Delight, which is like a 5% chance. So I promise you it works. Take my word. And I will share one final tip that I didn't actually realize until a few short years ago. So in an allotment patch, you have your herbs, you have your allotments, and you have your flower patch. I'm planting limpwort plants because it's a great way to gather secondaries for herbalore. However, this plant spot right here is not just for show. It actually has a very specific meaning. So if we go into our farming, skill tree or whatever it is, and we go into flowers, which is the things that get planted in there, you can see that some of these flowers actually protect your allotment from diseases. So for example, if you're a low level and you're trying to farm, onions, tomatoes, or potatoes, grow some marigolds and just leave it in there. Don't pick it out, because as long as you got marigolds here, these will never get diseased if it's onions, tomatoes, or potatoes. Same thing with rosemary. If you're planting cabbages, if you plant a rosemary, your cabbages don't get diseased. If you place a scarecrow, then your sweet corns will not get eaten from birds. If you plant nastur, I'm not even going to pronounce that anymore. It'll protect it from watermelons. And if you plant a white lily, it'll protect everything. And white lily is the only thing that's going to protect strawberries, and it's going to protect snapegrass. So when you get white lilies and you want to do a snapegrass grind, you can just plant white lilies in the middle, have it be fully grown, and then plant your snapegrasses, and they will never get disease, and they will 100% be healthy for its entire cycle. So white lily, best thing to plant and leave in the middle if you're not going to be planting limpworts throughout your, farming career. So good thing to note. Let's go to the next tips and tricks part. Surprise! You thought we were out of the farming guild and farming tips, but we are still here. So the next tip and trick I have for you is spirit seeds. you're not going to be able to use spirit seeds for a very long time, especially if you're a new Ironman and you don't have the farming requirements. And when you do use spirit seeds, you only literally need less than 10, just one for every spirit tree patch. You're not going to use these for XP. It's not worth using them for XP because they take like 17 years to grow. So what do you do with all those extra spirit seeds that you just have lying around? Well, here's what you can do. Use the spirit seed on the guild master in the farming guild, and she will give you, we're going to trade one seed, a tier 3 seed pack. And look at that. You got some nice tier 3 seeds. We got a redwood seed. We got some wild bloods, watermelons, you know, anything that would be given to you from a tier 3 hard contract. So I think that's great. Make sure you guys are utilizing the seed vault. It helps with so much of your thing, your vault space. You know, I just have 33 million in seeds in there, just very casually. I don't even do a lot of farming contracts. They just, you know, accumulate. So make sure you do your farming runs. Make sure you use these farming tips. Let's proceed. All right, look at this. I've upgraded my house. It looks a lot nicer now. And no, it doesn't really bother me that I might have an extra tick when I go to my ornate pool. So who cares? It looks great. Anyways, we're here to talk about how you can cure Venom. Take a look at this. I'm Venomed. I just took a hit splat for 10 and it's only going to increase. What am I going to do? I don't have anti-venoms and anti-poisons are a little, you know, out of reach. They're really not out of reach. You can easily get anti-poisons, but this is a tips and tricks video. So in my inventory, I have a strange fruit. What happens when you eat a strange fruit? Your venom is cured. It is as easy as that. Now let's continue playing around with poisons. Alright, we're back in my Po, and Po is player-owned house. I'm taking some severe poison damage. Oh look, it's my Abyssal Protector. The ugliest pet in the game. Bye-bye. And so, how are you going to cure it? You know, you can use a lot of different techniques. You can go in your inventory and manually click, or you can just go over here on your HP bar on the top on the mini-map, and you're going to click your HP. And in this case, I have the Lunar's Cure Me spell in the runes in my inventory, so the game automatically used Cure Me. So what's going to happen if you have alternative things such as the prayer book? Let's see if it's going to work. Okay, now we drop the astral runes to the floor. I don't have enough to cure me, but I do have my prayer book from Great Brain Robbery, and I'm wearing a holy symbol. Can we cast Cure? And looks like we can. And again, I didn't have to right-click Recite Prayer. I just clicked on my HP bar. And one final method for curing poison that you might not know of. Let's just do it one more time. Alright, so we're still poisoned, we're in the player-owned house, and we're standing next to a portal. Let's just say that you don't have a pool that can cure your poison, or you don't have any anti-poisons handy, but you are poisoned and you had a home teleport. You want to cure yourself. Well, what do? Just literally enter your house poisoned and click the portal and leave it, and you will have no more poison. Poison is cured, no potions used. I really want to highlight how nice it is to click on your HP, especially with Lunars, because it's one tick. You know, you use it a lot when you're learning Zulrah. You don't have to bring anything, right? You can bring runes and a rune pouch. For Cure Me, you don't have to bring any anti-poisons, and every time you get venomed, just double click on your HP bar. That's going to cure your venom until the next time you get venomed. Or you can honestly just keep your venom, take 1 damage of 6, and you have a countdown. It tells you, RuneLight will tell you how many seconds you got left until your next tick. So right before you get hit a second time, just double click again, and you'll just keep taking damage of 6 every time you get poisoned. So that's how I learned Zulrah, and I think it's a really good technique, especially if you don't want to waste so many potions, but you have the runes and you have the GP to buy the runes. So I think it's really, really sweet that you can do it this way and not go and manually cast Cure Me or manually recite prayer or manually drink potions. So it's a really good thing to know about. All right, I think you guys are going to love this one. I'm on a 2200 foreign world, off-peak hours, so I don't think I'm going to run into any peak errors, but it'll be actually kind of hilarious if I do. But this is a great wilderness Wildy God Wars dungeon tip, and you're going to need, I believe, 80 Hunter for this. So just an FYI, The tip really is to low item, you know, look at my death pile. Look, if I die to a PKer, they're not really getting anything, right? I can get all of these back pretty easily, and I'm keeping the items that are important. So when you're in Wildy, you want to make sure that your PK skull prevention is on, and you'll never get skull tricked or anything like that as long as this is check marked on. So we're going to head over to Wildy Godwar's dungeon, and we're going to go through here. And make sure that you have one of each faction. You can use an Armadillo necklace that you get from the Temple of Ikov, I believe, instead of an Armadillo helmet. But I have, you know, a War Blessing, Armadillo helmet, Zamorak monk top, and regular monk's bottom. So I'm not going to be getting aggro from any of these guys, and I'm just chilling here. So Wildy Godwar's dungeon has these imps, and what can you use an imp for? Well, you can put a magic box here with 80 hunter, and you can get an imp to come in, and while you're waiting for the imps, you can kill off, you know, an ice fiend or whatever it is. Just give them a nice damage, right? You can damage a little bit of everything. Oh, looks like we caught an imp over here. We're gonna retrieve it, and the other one is still working, but I think we only need one for this video. So let's kill anything until we have an ecumenical or whatever it's called. I really don't know how to pronounce it. I didn't get an ecu key, but I did get a tooth half key. So I'm going to take that. I'm going to use this as the example. So instead of, imagine this tooth half of a key is an ecumenical key or whatever is the word it should be. You can stay out of combat, and now that you have an imp in a box, you can just use your key on your imp in a box, and it gets transferred to your bank. You don't have to do anything specific to, you know, leaving the area and banking. Alright, so I got a random event, and I think this would be a pretty good opportunity to really say, do your random events, and do them early. So random events are good because, for example, this one gives you either an emote or an outfit, and when you have all the emotes or outfits and you complete it, you get an XP lamp. And you know what that XP lamp is good for? Agility, and not doing agility laps. And you know, random events are good because if you get the zombie random event, the Gravedigger, that one has a deposit box. So if you're doing something like, you know, cutting logs in a distance far away from a bank, you can actually go into the random event, deposit the logs, and then, you know, ask to leave, and you'll be teleported right back to where you were. So it's a free deposit. If you get the frog random, now you can trade in the tokens that you get from kissing the frog or patting it on the head. I don't know, just Jagex. You can keep those tokens in the bank, and then ultimately you can exchange those tokens for XP lamps. So those are stackable XP lamps in your bank as long as you keep them as, you know, a token. And when you're ready to convert them to cash, you take them to the store and you ask for an XP lamp and not, you know, anything else. So while we're here, I'm going to show you guys something else. This is the Hunters Guild in Valar Mohr, and I am looking for moths. I'm going to just tag them because they are... Oh, I accidentally caught one. Look at that. So here's what this is good for. I'm going to just go ahead and enable my mini-map. As you can see, I have no prey, all right? And I just caught a moth. So I caught a Moonlight Moth, and I believe this is like 70s Hunter. What happens when you release it? Now take a look at your prey. I release it. Oh my god, I got 22 prey increase just by releasing a moth. And look how easy they are to catch. Look at this. Now watch this. We're going to further make him useful. You need to combine this with the filled butterfly jar using a pestle and mortar. So you're going to use a meat from Hunter in your Moonlight Moth, and it becomes 2. So now it becomes a mix. Now you have 2 heals, 2 attempts, and this works with any butterfly jar. As you can see, you just got an infinite source of prey restores without using any renars, without using any, you know, herbal or ingredients. All you're doing is you're catching Moonlight Moths with, you know, butterfly jars, which you can buy for dirt cheap from any hunter store, even upstairs here. So you can do that, you know, use up all of your moths, whatever meats you get from Hunter, you can mix it in here and make each of them, you know, 2 doses instead of the 1 dose that you get from releasing it, and you have ultimately an infinite source of prey restores use them for Slayer, use them for activities. You're not using any Renars. This is a goated method. I think this is wonderful, especially if you're, you know, a low level with high level farming, which is really easy to get high level farming now, especially like 83 with the Hunter rumors. I recommend Hunter now. Hunter used to be a very weird skill, but now with this addition in Valor Mohr, it's pretty solid. So I highly recommend doing this. All right, we are still on these butterfly net catching activity tips, and this is a pretty good one too. So with the Archaea spellbook, if you are, for example, hunting imps in the overworld, which is like just the regular RuneScape world, or you're catching imps in here, and let's say you want to catch some natures, but they're being really annoying and they're like going around and you don't want to chase after them. You don't want to spend all those many nature runes on snares. Oh look, a ninja Impling. What we're going to do is we're going to use Dark Lure, and watch this. If you have good bonuses, right, good magic bonuses, I sometimes just wear like a magic book or whatever, that Dark Lure makes him come back to you. And it's effectively a snare. Oh, he went away. Go ahead and see if we can catch him again. There we go. We caught him. And we got a Dragon Dagger P+. Interesting. This is pretty good. And while we're still on the imp hunting tips, let's teleport to Prif. And I'm going to show you guys how I caught... How many did I catch? 168 crystal implings when I was grinding for it. So, as you see, I am wearing Graceful, and I am starting right over here, where this altar is right over here. So I'm going to look for crystal implings, 2 spawn per world, 1 in the north, 1 in the south, every 30 minutes. And I don't know when they're spawning. I'm just trying this out now. So I'm going to make a full run around Prif, and you know, I'll do a more detailed run, go out of these areas and kind of like see if there's any implings on the outside. Here's where I'll hop worlds, and I'll go to the next world, and I'll do a lap again to see if there are any crystal implings, because there's a lot of people that hunt for it. But look, I have 19 energy, 20 energy left. So, you know, do I have to waste stamina potions to do this? Do I have to waste super energies or regular energy potions? No. Conveniently, in the Archaea spellbook again, there's Vile Vigour, which converts your prayer points into run energy. And we just did that. We got 100 energy, used up some of our prayer. We're going to pray at the altar, and now we just run a whole lap again. And when we run the whole lap, you know, in the next world that we're in, we're going to do a thorough run to make sure that we're not missing any nooks and crannies. And we'll come back over here, you know, use Vile Vigour, pray at the altar again, and repeat the process. So this is how I hunted for crystal implings. And it's a pretty not well-known method, to be quite honest with you. 2 more tips before I end the video, and this one is a little more for the Ironmen that have been playing for a long time on and off. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into Edgeville General Store, climb up the ladder, and we have Perdu here. So if you didn't know, in November 2022, I believe, Jagex updated a lot of quest XP rewards. And I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't know this until like this week. So you could talk to Perdu, and he will tell you, hey, you know, I have some experience for you that you can claim. And he'll give you a shit ton of experience that has been updated by Jagex since after you've completed the quest. And you can claim that. This is also good with the Legends quest, and also good with the Meyer Ditch quest line and Night at the Museum. So you can definitely get some free XP out of that, just like I did. And yeah, I got 300,000 agility XP within a few minutes because I never knew about this until very recently. And my final tip for you guys is not today to join a clan as my part 1, but to don't change your name frequently. I like Ironman mode because, you know, you kind of develop an identity for yourself. My name is Renars. You know, people see me and they know who I am sometimes. Mostly because I've been playing the game for a long time. I have a pretty, steady set of worlds that I go into, home worlds. I do a lot of activities, I do a lot of socializing, so I see a lot of people pretty frequently that recognize who I am, right? I've also owned a Ironman clan historically with over 400 members, so my reach in this game has been pretty significant and pretty large. And to this day, people will still walk up to me and be like, "Hey, Renars, I know you. I saw you the other day. What are you up to?" So keeping an identity for yourself is great as you play an established Ironman. Don't try to put, willy-nilly names like, let's see what this guy's name. No, Juicy Jones is good, but look at this, Wet Seal 9, small big toe. I mean, you can't really develop an identity like that, or this guy. These are probably bots, but Mr. Juicy Jones it's a pretty good name, I'm not gonna lie. So Juicy Jones, if you ever watch this video, I like your name, I like your identity. Create something that's gonna last with you forever, and don't frequently change your name, because you are who you are. Let's end the video here. See you next time.